This video is thanks to viewers like you who put in requests for different character builds. And today we are once again taking a look at a request from the Intelligent Orc 7470. Thank you once again for these suggestions, and I hope you enjoy. Now let's get on with today's video. Greetings, my dear viewers. It is I, Drayhon, and welcome back to Dungeons & Dragons Character Conversion, where we take a look at characters from across media and bring them into Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition as a playable character using their lore as a basis for the build. Not just a fun concept, like, oh, what if X and Y? Could it be theoretically possible to play something similar to He-Man? No, we are making He-Man. We are going to take He-Man from his canonical appearances and drop him into the Dungeons & Dragons world. How are we going to do that? It's a rather complicated build, and we are going to get into the weirdness that is He-Man's lore here in just a second. But first, we need to start out with Prince Adam himself, and we need to take a look at those stats. Strength is going to be a 13, Dexterity will be an 11, Constitution a 14. He can take quite a punch. Not a serious punch to the back of the head, mind you, but he can still take a punch. Intelligence is going to be a 10. He is not the smartest cookie. He's rather average. Wisdom will be an 11. He is still rather perceptive. And of course, we're going to have a charisma of 14. He is well versed in the art of language. We can actually see that in a lot of different memes for He-Man, talking about those end credit speeches that he kind of gives. Those little pieces of advice at the end of each and every episode. And that isn't all that we're going to be basing this charisma off of. He is able to inspire others, and that's one of the things that kinda had me stuck for a little while, is trying to figure out how to incorporate that into the build. But I think I got a baseline for how Prince Adam would look in Dungeons & Dragons and how he can become He-Man, rules as written. Of course, we are going to have Prince Adam be a human. We're going to take the variance approach. This will increase our dexterity and our wisdom each by 1, rounding them off to a 12 each. He has a size medium, speed of 30 feet. Languages is going to be common and one of choice. For our skills, we're going with acrobatics. We're going to make sure to grab it this time, instead of forgetting all about it like we did with Conan last episode. And we're going to grab the feat of Resilient. This will give us proficiency in strength saving throws and will increase our strength by 1 more point. Now for the background. And we are, of course, going with the noble background, since Adam is the Prince of Eternia. Proficiencies will be in History and Persuasion. You get 1 gaming set of your choice as a proficiency and 1 more language of your choice. You also get the feature Position of Privilege. Not something he uses often. In fact, there are times where it seems he would rather not be a prince and would rather just be a normal teenager at times. He kind of finds his princely duties to be rather tedious. I don't exactly blame him, but he does end up coming around there near the end, especially during the second part of the reboot series known as Revelations. Really good stuff. Now, there is an alternative background that you could pick, and it is one that we normally pick for transformation-style builds, such as He-Man, and that is the faceless background. But I feel that the noble background fits Adam a little bit more. Moving on to our class, we're going to start things off with the Paladin build. Prince Adam is He-Man, who derives his powers from the very first champion of Eternia, King Grayskull. So, with his devotion to keeping the secrets of Castle Grayskull and protecting the land of Eternia, it makes the most sense to go with a Paladin class. This will give us a hit die of 1d10. Hit points starting at first level is going to be 10 plus your Constitution modifier. Additional hit points will be 1d10 plus your Constitution modifier per Paladin level after the first. For your proficiencies, you'll be proficient in all armor and shields, which he does use a shield every so often. Not too often. It's not a common occurrence, but he does use one. For weapons, you are proficient in simple and martial weapons. You've got to be able to use the power sword after all. For saving throws, we are going to be proficient in wisdom and charisma. This is why we picked strength saving throws when we picked the resilient feat. We also are going to grab the skills of athletics and insight. You also have access to divine sense and lay on hands. At second level, paladins get access to a fighting style. We'll go with dueling. Sometimes you can wield the sword with one hand, sometimes you can wield it with both hands. So that pretty much makes it a long sword. Next is your spellcasting ability, which uses your wisdom modifier. Now, Prince Adam doesn't use magic too often, but when he is in He-Man form, he does use the powers of King Grayskull in order to help him in combat. You see it once in a while, especially when he's using the power sword. A beam of light here, a very powerful magical strike there. It's not common, but it is enough to warrant this feature. We also, of course, get access to the all-powerful Divine Smite, the essence of a paladin. Again, once in a while, this is shown. When he's attacking a fiend, attacking a undead creature, or even just going after Skeletor himself. Now, we need to talk about Adam's contract, and that's going to be with the Warlock. Now, this is where we start getting into the thick of it. We are getting very conspiratorial here, and we need to analyze everything about this relationship that the Sword of Power has with King Grayskull himself. And this will help us determine what type of patron King Grayskull is. This means that we need to knock out a couple of patrons here. First off, Archfey, Celestial, Fathomless, Fiend, Genie, and Great Old One are out. King Grayskull, like I said, is the source of the Power Sword's power. After King Grayskull died, his powers, not his soul, were infused into the Power Sword. So, we can rule out Hexblade, since the Power Sword is not sentient. It does not have King Grayskull's soul in it, just his powers. Which we can probably argue that King Grayskull is technically a cleric of the Goddess of Magic. Which is technically what he is. He serves the Goddess of Magic. So that could be another tie-in to his paladin origins, which we'll get into here in a second. But we need to figure out what exactly this means. According to the wiki that I was able to pull up, when calling upon the power of Grayskull, whether that be the castle or the king himself, it is stated that the wielder takes on traits of King Grayskull himself. That's why Adam has that longer hair, those bulging muscles, and of course the outfit. So, that would imply that we are not looking at an undying patron, but instead, taking from the ghost of Grayskull himself, we are going with an undead patron. So, for our otherworldly patron, the undead, we get access to Form of Dread, which states the appearance of your form of dread reflects some aspect of your patron, aka King Grayskull. For example, your form could be a shroud of shadows, forming the crown and robes of your lich patron. Or your body might glow with glyphs from ancient funerary rites and be surrounded by desert winds, suggesting your mummy patron. For the purposes of this transformation, however, we are getting the bulging muscles and King Grayskull's outfit. And slightly longer hair. So yeah, that's basically what the Sword of Power is doing for Prince Adam. It is making him look more like King Grayskull. We got it? Awesome. Now for the second part of this rather crazy relationship between Prince Adam and King Grayskull. And that is the Paladin's Oath at level 3. I decided to go with Oath of the Watchers. First and foremost, we get access to Hardest Divine Power. But why the Oath of the Watchers? Well, according to the Oath of the Watchers, you are trying to stop forces from outside of your home plane from invading your home plane. Whether that be Fae, Fiend, Elementals, or Aberrations. Does not matter. Any outside forces trying to come to your world must be stopped, and you need to make sure that they cannot get through any gateways in order to come here. And what is the reason why King Grayskull died? Well, that is because King Grayskull was trying to stop Skeletor's master, Hordak, from entering Eternia and taking control. Likewise, Prince Adam, when he becomes He-Man, has to stop the forces of Skeletor and Hordak from coming to Eternia to take it over. And what is the plan for Skeletor to bring Hordak and his armies to Eternia? By using the Power Sword to open a gateway between their two worlds. Dramatic pause over. Alright, so as an Oath of the Watchers, you of course get access to your Oath spells, Alarm and Detect. For your Channel Divinity, you have access to Watcher's Will and Abjure the Extra Planar. Perfect for when you are going up against someone like Skeletor or the forces of Hordak. Alternatively, if you just were to go by some of the memes or maybe a different version, you could go with the Oath of Glory, but I think the Oath of the Watchers is going to be the closest to He-Man that we're going to be getting. Moving on to level 2 Warlock. We're going to grab the Eldritch Invocations of Armor of Shadows to replicate some more of the armor that He-Man does get in a couple of installments. I believe it was the Snake Mountain Awakening arc, where He-Man got a special power-up that gave him a extremely powerful magical armor. Not one he got from outside forces, but one that the Sword of Power had given him, which works as mage armor. Next is Eldritch Spear to empower your Eldritch Blast. Again, not something that is used often, but every so often the Sword of Power can shoot out a beam of light, or an Eldritch Blast. At 5th level, you are going to be getting access to that Eldritch Smite, and you can only get that through the Pact Boon of Pact of the Blade, which we are going to take a look at here in a second. Moving on to level 4 Paladin, go ahead and increase your strength by 2 points, making it a 16. At level 5 Paladin, you get your extra attack, with your oath spells being Moonbeam and Sea Invisibility. Level 3 Warlock, like I just mentioned, you're going to get the Pact Boon, Pact of the Blade, which is going to be your Sword of Power. At level 6 Paladin, you get access to Aura of Protection. Level 7 Paladin, thanks to Oath of the Watchers, gets Aura of the Sentinel. Moving on to level 8 Paladin, you are going to increase your strength by 2 more points, making it an 18. Level 4 Warlock, go ahead and increase your Charisma by 2 more points, making it a 16. Level 9 Paladins get access to their Oath spells. Thanks to the Oath of the Watchers, we're getting access to Counterspell and Non-Detection. Level 10 Paladin gets access to Aura of Courage. Level 11 Paladins get access to Improved Divine Smite. At level 12 Paladin, go ahead and grab the feat of Mage Slayer. And we are, of course, now at Warlock level 5. But we don't really get any features at this level for level 5 Warlocks, so we're not going to be going over it that much. Just go ahead and grab that Mage Slayer feat at level 12 Paladin, since we are facing off against a couple of spellcasters, after all. Level 13 Paladin, more Aura spells. This time we get access to Aura of Purity and Banishment. At level 14 we get access to Cleansing Touch. And finally at level 15 we get Vigilant Rebuke. Now that might be the end of the build, but not the end of the video, as we did pick 2 classes that have spells. So, let's go ahead and take a look at those spells. For some recommended spells, I have the following Paladin spells for you. First level, we have Command, Compelled Duel, Divine Favor, and Thunderous Smite. Second level, Find Steed, Lesser Restoration, and Locate Object. Third level, Blinding Smite and Crusader's Mantle. And at 4th level, we have Find Greater Steed. Find Steed and 5 Greater Steed are going to be references to Battle Cat, of course. Next, for your Warlock spells, cantrips will be Booming Blade, Eldritch Blast, and Sword Burst. At 1st level, Bane, Expeditious Retreat, Protection from Evil and Good. 2nd level, Borrowed Knowledge and Shatter. 3rd level, Dispel Magic. Like I mentioned, these are the recommended spells. Just something I would recommend you take as a more canonical looking He-Man spell list. You can choose whatever spells you want. You can choose however you want to build your He-Man. This is just the stuff that I recommend. So, what did you think? Let me know in the comment section down below. And also let me know if there is a specific character you would like to see in the next video. Until next time, this has been Drahan, and I am offline.